What's up, guys? It's Kess. Sorry it's been a while since I made a video, but we're back today and hopefully more in the future. Before we jump into the whole video, if you don't want to listen to me yap, if you're just here because you hate Evoker and you want to hear that they're still dead, or you're here because you love Evoker and you want to hear that we're back, let me just give you a quick TLDR on that, based on my opinion only, right? Are we back? You could definitely do weekly keys. You already could. You could definitely do title keys. You just need to find the space that allows you to do the title keys. You know, find a friend group that lets you play whatever you want. Absolutely, it's viable for those keys. But will you see it in like rank 1 world first keys? Probably not. So, you know, all you Og haters who are concerned about that, there's your answer. And then for those of you that enjoy it, it's going to be viable. It's not going to be the best. You're still going to be probably about like 50-60% of a normal DPS. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you want to listen to me yap, if you want a short answer, there you go. But let's jump right into it. So for today's video, we have more Augmentation Evoker buffs. By no surprise, the spec is definitely lacking in the DPS department. But again, it seems Blizzard just wants to stick to the road of buffing our personal damage, not focusing on any of our support gameplay styles, more so just personal output. So again, they gave us a 15% aura to all of our spells and abilities. This will probably come out to like 4 to 5% damage. So, you know, we're happy about it. It's good. It's a good change. We're one step closer to maybe being played a little bit more. But again, probably not enough to push you up into the meta and into the higher content of the game. But with that said, after the last buff, you already started to see Augmentation Evokers played a bit more in like the title range keys, right? Like I think we finally have one Augmentation Evoker in title range. So you're starting to see people play it a little bit more. Its damage is a little bit better, but it's still quite a bit behind. This will help a bit. But yeah, and to answer the question that I know you guys are here for, are we back, right? Are we back? And I always have a hard time with this question because what are you like? I never know what people are asking, right? Are we back in 10s? Are we back in weekly keys? Are we back in 12s? Are we back for title keys? Are we back in rank 1 keys? Are we back in world first keys, right? To answer all of that, who knows? We'll see. It's obviously going to be played a little bit more. With each buff, it starts to see a little bit more population. But yeah, let's just take a look at kind of where we are now and how this 4 to 5% will impact us in the weeks to come. So if we just look at the leaderboards here, right, there's one person in title range, Brisky. Brisky's a gamer. Getting closer to all 17s done. Now, again, with Resil keys, like, you got to be careful with this because, like, AUG could be viable in these keys, but if they're just attempting Resil over and over and over and over and over, well, you know, it's kind of hard to get an actual judge of how the spec does. Right, because if you put, like, if you slam your head against the wall on infinite attempts on anything, on any spec, right, you're eventually going to get it. But yeah, so it's viable for these higher keys. You know, this is going to go up to, especially with the gear increase that we're getting soon. We're going to be like 684 item level, so again, you're going to see a natural inflation of the keys AUG is doing from that. Does that mean it's meta? Does it mean it's the best? No, but is it viable? Yes. But yeah, so it seems to be that Priory is the hardest key for AUG. And we're going to take a look. I have a bunch of tabs open here. We're going to take a look at a bunch of the damage meters and kind of see where we're at now and what things might look like next week. And then with the item level boost as well, the turbo boost. Yeah, so let's jump in and look at the logs, all the public logs available for all these dungeons, and kind of see where Evoker's damage is at and sort of assess it from there. Right away, we look at Cinderbrew. This is Cinderbrew Meadery. Again, a lot of the top specs in the game are doing like 5.5, close to 6, maybe a few of the DKs with good procs getting above 6 mil overall in this key, and Evoker is clocking in at 3.5, 3.7 mil. Again, there's not many people playing the spec. So I don't know if these are the best representations of it. And again, not everyone public logs, so but this is what we have available to us, right? I haven't done many myself, so don't have much data from myself to share, so this is what we'll go with. But yeah, 3.5, 3.7 mil, you know, add 4 to 5% to that for next week. Okay, maybe we're breaking 4 mil in Cinder Brew now. Not bad, right? But, you know, still quite far behind what we're considering the meta specs of this season, right? Let's just jump into the log here. And so you're doing about 50% more than the tank, but you're still like 50% less than, you know, the top spec in the game. DK, mind you, DK is getting a nerf, but again, it probably won't change too much. Let's take a look at like pure single targets. Let's just go to the last boss here. Single target, not the best. Maybe it could be better, but yeah, still not looking too hot. Let's jump over to Dark Flame Cleft. Again, this is like a pretty single target focused dungeon, right? The bosses being like the most important things of this key, aside from like a 1 or 2 hard pulls. Highest public log is a 16. Again, damage 2.7 mil. Not looking too good. Pretty low, especially just compared to what other people can do. Now, obviously, you get examples like this, right, where the AUG is beating somebody who is, you know, maybe underperforming or whatever. So again, these aren't the best analytical tools, but it's what we have available to us, right? But curious things, or we want to look at single targets, right? So go to Candle King. Okay, 1.3 mil. You know, it looks good in this group, but like people are doing like 2 plus, right? Theater of Pain. Theater of Pain is always a weird dungeon for people. So Brisky has a public log at 17 and 2.6 mil. Right, people are doing like over 4 mil in this key. So again, the point is it's basically like half a DPS right now, right? Damage is gonna go up, but the buff aspects aren't going up. So, you know, you probably still would stick to like Dev Evoker or stuff like that if you wanted to like push the upper rankings of Mythic Plus, right? Again, if you're just going for title or you want to enjoy the gameplay, what you like, this is totally fine, and it's just going to get better next week, right? So if you are an AUG enjoyer, you know, this is a positive for you, and, you know, you could probably play it more. I think the hardest thing is just finding the space that allows you to play it, right? If you find a space that allows you to play it, you're probably going to do well, especially with resilient keys, because you can just beat your head against the keys over and over until you kind of figure out cooldown timings and everything to get the most out of AUG in the key. But yeah, obviously it's a welcome buff, and, you know, maybe one day they'll buff our actual support aspects. We'll see. But for now, we are just personal damage machines. Yeah. Like I said earlier, Priory seems to be the hardest key for Evokers this season. Now, again, that's probably combined with Priory just being a hard dungeon in general for survivability for the group, paired with the large pulls you have to do constantly throughout the key to meet the timer at the end. This key requires a lot of damage. It also requires, you know, high survivability, right? So AUG probably struggles in the damage output, trying to get through the higher Priories, like the 16s, the 17s, 18s, right? Yeah, like 3.4 mil in this key. You know, if we go look at top damage for all classes, I bet you we're breaking 6 mil, 5 to 6 mil, right? So not quite there for Evoker in this key, but again, getting buffed, so a little bit closer to maybe being able to do this key at a higher level. Plus the turbo boost will, you know, naturally inflate these as well. Workshop, very single target focused dungeon. Brisky got this on 17. Let's jump in here and look at like single target damage, right? So 2 target cleave actually is a good metric. So 2.5 mil, not bad. Cujo, the new version of Cujo, everyone's damage kind of looks weird, so maybe not the best thing to look at. King Mechagon, long single target boss fight. So again, you know, and this is nothing against any of the players in the group, right? These are gamers. These guys own. This group's amazing. Brisky's a very good Aug. A lot of respect for him, but like we're just looking at the numbers here, right? And you know, 4 or 5%, it'll help a bit, but you know, it still needs, I think, a little bit more. Probably a buff to our support aspects, right? But yeah. Anyways, so 15% aura buff, obviously welcomed and happy about it. Hopefully, you know, they kind of keep pinching away at this over time, because there are people out there who do enjoy Aug Evoker, and you should be able to play what you enjoy in the game. No spec should ever not be viable, right? So again, if you want to play Aug in title keys and you can find a space that lets you do that, a friend group that lets you do that, you'll probably find success. Might be a little harder, might be a little bit of road bumps, but it is viable. You can definitely do it. It's also going to be better the better your group is, right? That's just naturally how Aug works. Even though they keep only buffing personal damage, that still remains true. You're going to get more output based on how good your group is, or the opposite, right? So yeah, hope you guys liked the video. I'll try and do more. I'll try and keep up more. Kind of took a break from things for a while. But yeah, hope to get back into the swing of things. And for those of you that enjoy Aug, hopefully this is a welcoming buff and another step forward to, you know, being played more and maybe being perceived more as a viable spec, right? For those of you that dislike Aug, you can keep smiling because you won't see this in probably World First Keys meta keys. But yeah, anyways, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.